All right, welcome back to the channel. This is gonna be a real one, right? Let's keep it humorous, but let's be honest, right? And for the 25, 10, from the 10 to 25% of women that actually tune into this channel, and some of them are friends, right? We know we're gonna say a lot of this in jest, but on the dating scene, right? This is what men. I want you to chime in the comments. Some of you are boring. Is that it?
Okay, this one hurt my feelings. Guys, tell me if it's true. Do most of you don't like women as far as our personalities? If you had a choice, if you weren't attracted to us, you wouldn't even talk to us because most of our personalities kind of suck. Is this true? Be honest.
So let's be honest, right? I think a lot of us, when we hear about how awful men are, how boring men are, how they don't have any real hobbies and they don't do things. But on the flip, right? And there's not a lot of content out there saying things from men's point of view. And again, I'm trying to be nice and sugarcoat a lot of it, but not enough to give you diabetes. Just enough to let you realize, yeah, you're boring too. You you say the same things. You like to travel. You like to eat at restaurants. What is that? Right? Everyone likes to travel. Allegedly. When's the last time you saw someone was like, no, I don't like to travel. I like to stay landlocked exactly where I am. Yeah, it's a default thing to say. It doesn't mean anything. You probe it a little bit. All right, you like to travel. Where have you been? Miami, Atlanta. Is that travel? Is it travel? Is this the travel you're talking about? Or you've been in the United States backyard? I've been in Cancun a couple times. Tulum. A lot of, and again, we're being real. We're trying to be humorous because we don't want to offend. But a lot of you download your personalities from wherever the main hive is, and then part of that download is a critique of men and saying that men are boring. Men don't do things. You don't like the things we do, so it's boring, right? If a man's hobby, I like to play video games. If that's his hobby, you're like, no, that's boring. Why? Because it's not based in productivity. What is boring about it? Because it's not something that it can you guys can do together. There's something he kind of does with his friends. If a man said part of his hobbies or his interests is like, I like to go to bar and drink, you look at that and you say, that's lame. Yeah, or you like to go try new restaurants. Yeah, of course you got to eat. Sure, that sounds lame. That's not something individual. That's not unique. That's not something that takes your personal talent, interest, in the creative sense. No, some of you like to read, and I'm a big listen. Go buy my book, by the way. Um, I like that. Like, hey, you like to read? Cool. There's a myriad of things that we can read. There's a myriad of things that we can talk about in terms of reading. But largely, the United States doesn't read. Or if you read, and listen, women, when you read and you like your smut books, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Right? Read it. As long as we're, and when I say read, I don't mean audible. I mean actually read it. But a lot of your personalities are boilerplate, right? Because, and now let's get a little more technical into it for those who are stuck around. When you by default have male attraction, right? And some of you, have gotten male attraction before puberty even really hit. Right? Before that, I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying like, we're this is real talk corner, right? A little corner, right? We'll maybe start like a little Patreon, a little locals thing, real talk corner, where we can just be absolutely frank and real with each other, so we have actual dialogue. But when you don't have to work for a thing, you see no reason to change, no reason to adapt. There's nothing. You're getting the attention. You may not want the attention, but that's already there. Flip it. Men have to become interesting. If we go on a date, and I get it, I hear a lot that men can't have conversations. Fair critique, absolute fair critique. Men work on that. Be able to talk. Don't be able to talk so well that you're gonna start a YouTube and then we're competing for views. Don't do that, right? You don't have to go that far. Just be able to talk. But you should be able to hold a conversation, right? So as a man, I have to be interesting. I have to be part of it. Maybe well traveled, well read. I have to be funny. I have to be charming. I have to know how to volley. with our conversation. And I have witty banter. In order for me to have witty banter, I have to know a plethora of a wide ranging part, little bit of everything. I need to be able to get references. I need to have watched enough TV or Netflix to get the reference that you're using. I have to do all this to be a good person to sit across from dinner. And sometimes, what do men get in return? I get kind of boilerplate answers. Yeah, you go to work, a job you don't like, a job that you can't really tell me interesting anecdotal stories about. Okay, maybe you're telling me gossip and drama from a TV show that we all can just sort of watch. That again doesn't really interest me. I don't get to watch a lot of TV because I'm usually in the middle of some craft, something that I want to do, I want to get better at. And there's a laundry list of things that I still suck at that I still need more time to get into. I want to become a better writer. What do you have to do? You got to read. You got to write. You got to read. You got to write. I want to get better, become a better cook. You know what? You can't keep ordering DoorDash to become a better cook. So you have to actually dive into that. That's just a normal thing. You want to be able to do things, you've got to do the things. Some of you just by default never had to. You never had to change. Now, in your mid 30s and 40s and up, now you're seeing like, okay, the beauty isn't the thing that is enough to mesmerize the guy I'm sitting across from. I need a personality now. That's why, you know, sometimes you women with personality, men will point it out. Men will legitimately point it out. You are funny. We say that because it's rare. It's rare. Yeah, you're quirky. You're quote unquote weird. We're saying it as a good thing. We're saying it as a good thing because it's different. It's outside of the norm. What is usually out there. So yeah, we don't like some of your personalities because it's awful. Let's not even get into some of you that are simply entitled because you've had your life show you a certain way for such a long time. And it's been largely untested out in the larger world. Time will test it. Time will test it. And when you get out there and it's tested, you kind of balk. You kind of like shudder, like, well, this is all I've ever known. I think of a man in his process of becoming better. He gets tested often. He gets his chin checked. Hey, you had a worldview for the last 5 years that made sense. Well, now it doesn't because life. You went out there, you tested it. There's a lot of things that are shaky, a lot of things that don't work. Hey, you gotta strip away a lot of these things. A lot of things that I firmly believed in when I was younger, absolutely mean nothing now. Absolutely mean nothing to me now. But they have to strip away. They have to strip away. It's just this process of growth. So when I sit across from you and I'm having a conversation, I'm engaged. I can I wanted to learn how to be charming, so I had to work at it. I listen to you. I do callbacks from things that you said. I make the experience an experience. But it shouldn't all be on me because I have a personality. To do this, you need a bit of personality. And as I get more and more comfortable, you'll see more and more of that personality. My friends that know me in the real world, in the wild, they can attest to that. But yeah, I it's not a end all be all. You can develop a personality, but a lot of you coming out there accepting dates from men and are ready to be bored or think that you're super interesting. Now your personal story is interesting to some, right? To me, that is. You can lean on that, but by default, no. Some of you kind of just kind of. You're pretty though. That works. Let me know what you think.